Hey everyone, welcome. Hello, Tim Dumar. How you doing? I'm having a wonderful day. How about you? The Get Say race. How you doing? Has Memphis, Tennessee? I heard that your roads were blocked at some point last week. Somebody was supposed to come out from there for the conference in Texas, but I heard that they couldn't even get on a plane or something like that, and they were going to drive. Michael Thomas, God bless you. Thank you for joining. Who else is joining me today? Let's get on this conversation. I won't be long on here. Um, Yes, I wanted to show you something, guys. Did you know that there are people who are quietly? I want to show you how they do it. They are so. Let me just take you to something here. Follow me carefully. Let me show you something. This is going to shock you, or maybe not shock you. But look at this is a post by Pompeius. Awesome. I'm glad that you were able to get your kids back to school. So Pompeius has been this gentleman on X, and look at this post. I want to show you something here. We're seeing some recovery in the market, so we're thankful for that. Praise God. I mean, be ready for anything, but I just wanted to show you this. Just calm down. Let's wait for a few people to come in, but you can read the post I have there. I want to show you how they do it, how they manufacture things, how they use anonymity in the crypto space. But let's look at the markets for a little bit here. Where are we? We are on. Let's go to coin market cap, and let's look at the coin market cap. Let's look at a couple of cryptos. I'm not sharing that right now, but I'm looking at it here. Let's look at what price is my favorite crypto at. That's XRP. It's still at number 5. It's at $1.45. I think it went up to 150, which is a nice recovery from $1.15. Now let me ask, how many of you were able to get it at $1.15? You are legends. Obsidian is in the house. Hallelujah. Welcome, my friend. How many of you were able to get it at $1.15? If you did, then you are a legend, because at 150 you already basically got almost I would say 65 cents on the dollar for your investment. Excuse me. So you got 65 cents, I believe, for every dollar you invested. That's not bad. Come on. So that's 65%. How many people can get that from their bank? So you got it at 117. And so if you're at 145, that's not a bad place to be. I didn't do any trades. I mean, people say, it's dumb. You missed this, you missed that. No, my average price is still very good. I've set some orders, but they're not as low as that. I mean, I'm not praying for a drop, but if it happens, I'll be willing to claim whatever opportunities are out there. So let's like the video. One of the things you have to do to help me is to like the video. I am going to be going on my phone to see what's happening on YouTube there, so that I can follow you guys. Please, if you haven't followed me on Patreon, I have something I'm doing on Patreon. I'm focusing on a niche. Hey, Pastor Andrew Carter, God bless you. Welcome on here. I want to teach people how to become their own banks using DeFi in the best and simplest way possible. I've noticed that the DeFi space is very confusing for a lot of people who are just coming into crypto, or have been in crypto for less than 5 years, or have not really engaged. So if you want me to help you, I want to show you how. If all you have is, I want to show you how you can become a millionaire if you're not a millionaire already in the crypto space. If you're not having a lot of XRP, or you have a lot of XRP, but you want to put something away for your children. You want to make them their own banks. What I was doing yesterday, 2 hours yesterday morning, from 2:30 to 1:30 to 3:30, I was creating my own credit card. I decided that I have a credit card that is a high interest rate. I had used it at one time to purchase a large amount of a certain crypto bag. I'm not going to go into details about that, but it was offered to me, and I just said, well, I'm going to take it. I just took it. It's not really a credit; it's a line of credit, but they put it like it comes to you as a card, like a credit card. A bank had made a payment of $300 million in a judgment, and they were trying to get new customers. So I'm like, okay, if you're going to give me this much, for a line of credit for this much, I will take it. So I took it and I invested it in a crypto, which right now I'm earning 13% on that crypto, just parking it in a DeFi setting. So I want to be able to share with you, because I find that a lot of people are confused. I'm asking questions. People are confused because they are all over the place. Okay, this platform, that platform. Each platform is deep. It's a well of information, is a well of, you can stay, let me tell you, you can stay in one or two platforms and get everything you want. And that's what I'm hoping to do on Sunday night, to show you that you can actually have your own, you can become your own bank. Do you know that if you have 3 children, 2 children, 1 child, you can actually, that are over the age of 18, you can issue them your own, a credit card within you, and just say, hey, my dear son, daughter, here, you can have this and use that. They can have credit card from Visa and MasterCard, right? Just so that they can build up their own credit rating with maybe $250. But let them use your own system. So you set up your own system. With $10,000, you can set up your own system. With $3,000, you can set up your own system, and your own system will be such that you borrow your own money from within your own resources. You become your own bank. My wife and I used to talk about being our own bank about 7, 8 years ago. We did not know that we were prophesying something that could become a reality. And that's the reality. The more you have, the better you can be. Why not start doing it right now? Because in the event that they lock people out, when I say they, I mean the powers that be always lock people out. This is one easy way for you to become a multimillionaire. I mean, before XRP will get to where the thousands or the tens of thousands, which can happen anytime. But I want people to understand that diversification is also very important. All right. If you have a million XPR today, it can easily get to $3. Why not? It's got 2 zeros and it can cancel. I've done my research. This is not financial advice. Do your own research like I have done. I will give you the facts. You go check them out. Why? You can easily get any crypto, you can easily accumulate 1 million. Go and accumulate 1 million. It's not easy to accumulate 1 million XRP right now. You know why? Because a million XRP will cost you $142,000 at today's price. Many people don't have that kind of money. There's only 1% of people in North America today who can call $142,000 up in 24 hours. Very, very few people, less than 1%. Why? Because most people are not that liquid. But I'm telling you that if you are able to put away a little bit of money here and there and put together a million units of any crypto asset, you are in position. Now, some of the meme coins will get you there, but not all of them, right? That's why you need to also look at some of the cryptos that are doing well and that are in an ecosystem. I want you to be in an ecosystem where you are your own bank. You can do a lot within that system itself. So yesterday I did an exercise. I decided that I was going to buy, so my wife and I are going to be 30 years in our marriage. I said, oh, let me so I already bought the tickets. We're taking a short trip, about 5 nights away, less than a week, thereabouts, just to commemorate, and do some fun things, sightseeing and all of that, so I said, all right, I won't book the hotels and the rental car, but I will use my own credit card within my ecosystem. So I've issued myself a credit card. That credit card is 30% of a certain portfolio that I have. So then I move it out of the ecosystem, out of cryptoverse into the real world, right? But I could also stay in cryptoverse. What do? I take it from one platform, the DeFi platform, and I take it onto Traveler. So when it's time to pay for my ticket, I pay on Traveler with my crypto. Do you see what I'm saying? So I can convert it into XMD, or I can convert it in, which is the metal dollar, or I can convert it into USDC, I can convert it into something else, whatever. I'll also look at the points. Which one gives me more points? I open an account with Ava. Ava is a crypto, and from there I get what I need to get. I buy my ticket. Oh, sorry, I get the hotel booked. I get the rental car booked. All in the crypto world, and then I get crypto back. I get Ava back for doing that. And let me tell you, Ava has only like let me see. Ava has only like let's see what Ava has. Ava has ooh So that's Ava Traveler. Ava's supply is it's 23 cents now for one Ava, but the supply is 100 million max with 72 million circulating. 100 million. That means that in a bull market, Ava can easily go from 23 cents to $5. It can go to $10. Why? Its previous all-time high was what? Was $6. So do you see how you can actually have other plays that are not necessarily within you have some other plays. Yes, ZBCN is great. Velo is great. Velo is also Jed McCaleb is their major advisor there, and I think Velo is for Asia. It will do very well in that market. Stronghold is excellent. I think you can also do some plays with Stronghold in the Lobster wallet under XLM. I'm not sure. Just random knowledge here and there, but I'm just telling you that we can actually have ourselves immersed in one ecosystem and build your knowledge within that ecosystem. That's all I'm saying. And be very knowledgeable and start using it now. Then, because you are already inside, you'll be grandfathered in. So when they start making all the rules and regulation, you see, it's like somebody who owns a piece of land in the forest. When they regulate and say they want to divide it and make it into a train station and all that, they might allow you to keep some of it, or they may pay you a lot of money to get out of it. The point I'm making is you are already in the system and you are already using it and you know how it works. Because let me tell you something. After regulation, for you to get onto some DeFi systems, I'm sure this will come in play in 2027. They will say, the makers of rules will give you a quiz. They will say, the get say ray, I'm talking to you. They will say, okay, get say ray, how much is your net worth? You say X amount of dollars. Okay, good. What cryptos? How long have you been in crypto? 10 years. Okay, good. What's your net worth? What's this and that? They will increase the questions from 3 to 10. What you think is an easy quiz now, they'll use it to fit, they will increase the questions and use it to filter people out of the system because they don't want everybody in it. All right. I just wanted to say that. And I thought I saw One Day D come in. Woo, One Day D. How you doing? Oh my God. Sean, how are you doing? I already said hi to Dr. Carter. All right, let's go into what I wanted to talk about today. For all those of you who are here, please like the video, get the likes up to 37 likes. Follow me on Patreon. If you have never followed me on Patreon, join my Patreon because I'm going to stick to just 2 DeFi settings, and then I'll add a little bit, 1 or 2 later on before the first quarter ends. But my focus right now is to get people to understand what they're doing. Don't know about a lot of things and not know about one thing. Paul said, this one thing I do. I've been a preacher for many years, and I realized that if you train yourself very well in preaching, you can get to the point where, or you allow the Lord to train you, you can speak for 30 minutes and be very effective without speaking for a whole hour. Of course, there are things that you have to, spend some time to do in 1 hour and all that. He says, I just try to make a habit of paying all my bills and then using the extra for silver and ISO coins. That makes sense. That's awesome. So yeah, and I'm talking about an ISO. What I'm telling you about being your own bank is within the ISO system. I'm a big ISO fan. The book I wrote is all on ISO, the ISO cryptos, using XRP as an example, right? XRP will lead the way, like Bitcoin led the way for all of the other cryptos. XRP will lead the way for the ISO coins. XRP and SLM, they're the king and princes of the ISO cryptocurrencies, which I believe have now climbed to 12. Electronium will become an ISO. Solana will become an ISO. Forget all the problems they're having now. I think they're all building their networks, preparing themselves to become ISO cryptos. Why? Because they're going to deal with the financial system. World Liberty Financial, all of them, they're all going to get into the ISO category. It's impossible for you to go into future regulations and deal with hedge funds, deal with banking. You see, what is happening is that some of them are anointed. Why is World Liberty Financial dealing with financial products when they are not in an ISO crypto? Why? Because they're also going to be connected to the entire system for value to be transferred. If you sell a property or a mortgage, you get a mortgage, you get all of. They're also going to be doing what? Tokenization. So why are all of these blockchains doing all these things now? You see, some of them have already been approved quietly. Yes, I'm feeling much better. Thank you so much. It was so good to see you again. Hey, it's been a minute. I also was thinking about you this morning. Okay, if I'm in Calgary, I need to get in touch. All right. So let me just share this with you. Can you all see what I'm sharing on the screen? Please, if you can see it, say yes, what I'm sharing. So this is Pompeius. Pompeius has been he invested into Bitcoin way back in 2013. Now I don't know if it's a lady or a guy, but it looks like a guy. I've been following him on X, and today he posted something. He said, "I just received a private message offering me 25,000 to defame Ripple and XRP. A paid script telling me exactly what to say. Call it a scam. Claim I sold everything. Blame Ripple and influencers for wealth destruction. Let that sink in." So ask yourself this: who is funding? Now let me open it a little bit more so we can all read it. Okay, it says, who is funding this campaign? Who benefits if XRP is defamed? How many accounts you see daily attacking Ripple are not organic voices but paid proxies following the same script? This is how narratives are engineered with money. And if they are this desperate now, imagine what they are trying to stop from coming next. This is why I want you guys to diversify. I'm not saying don't buy Ripple. My biggest my biggest the crypto that I talk about the most, that I really believe is the way to the future, and the future of cryptocurrencies and the financial world, is the XRP ledger and XRP as its native asset. In fact, the XRP meme coins that you can find on the Joey wallet and all of these other spaces in the decentralized finance on the XRP ledger, which exists and is doing well, by the way, but most people don't even know about it. Why? Because Solana leads the way, because Ethereum leads the way, because all the Shiba Inus of this world and the Shiba Inus and whatever you call them, the Pancake Crypt, they are right there now. The Solana ecosystem is unbelievably, Pump.fun are just pumping out meme coins like no man's business. All right. So it's important to know that the XRPL exists and is busy building up. And when all the others are wiped away, it'll be one of the few that will be left standing. Just like Google came from behind and all of the other ones disappeared in the .com era, that's exactly what's going to be happening again, because history always rhymes. Okay, so he said this is how narratives are engineered with money. And if they are this desperate now, imagine what they are trying to stop from coming next. What they are trying to stop from coming next. This is exactly what I've been saying. I said to my wife the other day, I'm happy that I'm diversified. I'm holding my XRP bag. Let them drop it, I don't care. So you get a drop of 2% in Bitcoin, 3% in Bitcoin, and XRP goes 34%, and Solana goes how many percent? 10% in 2 days. Like, why is XRP the one that dropped 34 to 37%? Doesn't make sense. It tells you that there's something else going on. Manipulation is at play. I don't know how else to explain it. But look at this here. It says, I will not be bought, but I will expose it. Pay attention. Look at what they sent to him. They say, hey, Pompeius, our team would like to offer you, please like the video, I beg of you. It said, our team would like to offer you $25,000 USDT for one post on X. Requirements. These are what should go in the post. Tag Ripple and call it a scam. Share that you sold all of your XRP. Blame Ripple plus influencers for wealth destruction. You can put it in your own words, but it is a requirement to include all of the 3 points mentioned above. We can send you 50% of the USDT before posting and the rest upon completion, only if you are open to it. So now he's exposing this. Okay, so now somebody may say, oh, this is all false. I'm just liking that. I didn't know. Let me kind of retweet it. All right. I actually quoted on it earlier. I said, I'm not surprised. So you see what is happening? Pompeius is selling you. This Pompeius guy bought Bitcoin in 2013 and rode Bitcoin. And I like him for one thing. When he discovered that there was something else, a better than Bitcoin, he doesn't trash Bitcoin. Bitcoin got him to where he is. So what did he do? He invested his proceeds from Bitcoin, some of his proceeds, into XRP. Kenny Yuen did the same thing. He took his profit. Kenny Yuen is a doctor, by the way. He took his profits from Bitcoin. He sold all his Bitcoin last year and he moved into XRP. So I don't know how much Bitcoin he had, but that was his testimony. Now, there's nothing wrong with people wanting to get into another cryptocurrency, but why are the Bitcoin markets? Why were they so crazy? What was really going on? It even felt to me like some of them would behave like they were possessed. But what if they had been paid money by some people? So now here's the thing. Because XRP, cryptocurrencies are still in the process of being fully regulated, the dark monies can move and bribe people you wouldn't even know. Let's see how it's done. I'm going to show you now how they do this. Let me read some of the comments so see where people are. Do you still believe in WikiCat? Yes, I do. What? How many zeros has it dropped? I do. WikiCat is going to come back with a vengeance. Like, I mean, I would just buy dollar cost average down. If, for example, it has dropped to the point where $100 will give me a billion, I'll jump into it. I really believe in it. Let me tell you what I believe about WikiCat. I think that WikiCat will just be like Shiba Inu. I think it'll drop 2 to 3 zeros easily. I think that the community, Nigerian, the mistake the WikiCat community has made, many of them are Christians and believers, and some of them are immature. Many of them are immature. They would say stupid things. They would talk, and some of them say, "Oh, now we have our own product in Africa." Those are stupid things to say. Those are idiotic statements to make. I don't understand why people should be talking like that. You don't need to flaunt your progress and say, "Oh, look at what we now have." It's not necessary. The pridefulness of some of the people there in the community. I'm not talking about the founder and some of the other people. It's embarrassing, to be honest with you. However, you see, when you become so forward, you are tagging Elon Musk, tagging David Goldstein, basically begging him, please recognize us so that we can make it's pedantic. It doesn't help. Right, the asset will fight because they've done a brilliant job. The gentleman there, Sir Mappy, has done a brilliant job, and his team. And I think that the immediate community. Remember, every cryptocurrency with a solid community. WikiCat went from having less than 35,000 wallets to what? What is their wallet holder now? It exploded. Right, I'm going to tell you what it is. Before I get into this, I'm just trying to answer a question here. All right, so WikiCat, so they had like what's the wallet number? I'm just trying to look for it here. I can't find it. I find this thing. 156,000 holders, and they are still holding. That tells you something. They are not giving up. Now, WikiCat is not the only thing that has dropped. Others have dropped. Other cryptos have dropped. Bitcoin is at 60 something thousand. So here's what I want to tell you, friends. If Bitcoin rises back today to 115,000, which will happen before you know it, because the same people who pump things down also pump things up. If it gets to 115,000, I guarantee you that WikiCat, not financial advice, do your own research. Just look at crypto. Look at the past. Let's look at something here. Let me show you that something that really, really intrigues me about the crypto market is this. Look at this. Look at this is the all-time chart for WikiCat. Do you see that there is a jump here like never before? Well, this tells you that it has done a high here. And what happens with a high is this high, the next high will be higher. Look, see, this is the high. This high was in 2023. Excuse me. Okay, look at this high here now. It is 2025. Will we see another high? Well, a lot of people are saying that the bull market is over. I'm telling you that the next high will be way, way higher than this. That's why I said it is going to pump in a way that it will lose 3 zeros. Why do I still believe that there's going to be another high? Because in the crypto market, in the stock market, in every market where you are charting commodities or everything, there is always going to be another high. Why? There's demand. Why? There's always going to be an increase in GDP. As you increase production, as more millionaires are made, as more products are brought into the market, new money is created, new energies are released within undiscovered and uncharted territories. You are going to have new money. And if you have new money, you have new wealth. If you have new wealth, you see what I'm saying? Look at what happened with silver. Where did all that money come from? Yes, people say it was pumped, but people made money. They exited at that high level of $100 and something of silver, exited at 5,000 plus for gold, exited, and then the thing crashed back. That's just how it is. So you got to remember that. Okay, back to what I was saying, which is I was talking about how they manipulate things. So let's go to the previous tab here. I was talking about Pompeius. Okay, so Pompeius says this is they sent him 25,000. They were offering 25,000. They were going to send, sorry, and he rejected it. To mess Ripple up, to create fraud. So think about it. There are people who have money who are doing this. If Epstein file is real, then this is real. This is real. This is real. Remember how people were talking about what some of the elite are doing? They worship Satan. They do this, Baphomet, and more of people were mocking and saying it's all conspiracy theories. Alex Jones is a this and that and that. Now we see it, and no, you notice all of the celebrities, Hollywood, they are quiet. But now You are seeing this. This is what happens. Money is being spent. That's what happened during elections. Money is a lot of money spent. Remember, Kamala Harris brought the rapper. What's that girl's name? She came on there, and they brought Beyonce and all of them just to talk. And you see it happening also on the Republican side with Nicki Minaj coming out and supporting the. It's done. And the thing about the Nicki Minaj is, I don't know that they gave her money. This is something that looks so genuine. It's like, okay, not because I support Donald Trump or anything, but just look at it, because the facts are there. If they had paid Nicki Minaj $1 million, like they paid some big amount of money to Beyonce, it'll be out because you see the money moving, right? But let me see how the money moved in the system. Now, let me tell you how they play this game. They use zero knowledge proof. And let me tell you how they do it. Okay, if you want to send USDT anonymously, now I don't do it. I'm not a criminal. But this is what they do. So you can use it. They use a service like ZK Bob. Okay, it's called Zero Knowledge Bob. Okay, it allows you to deposit USDT and then you transfer it to another ZK Bob account without revealing transaction details. The process involves generating a ZK proof to ensure the transaction is verified while keeping the sender and receiver's identities private. This is how they play the game. So if I wanted to damage Ripple right now, and I had money, I had $1 million given to me, they will send it to me through a ZKP address, right? So because it's zero knowledge proof, you don't see who's sending it, you don't see who's receiving it. It destroys all of that information. Now, the governments are going to ban it. Right now, they are having fun with it. The CIA uses those types of things. All of these, four-letter agencies or three-letter agencies, they use these things have been used by the military. This is what they've been encoded money. They use that, and that's how they spend, right? And they say it's government account. When you hear government account, you have to ask yourself, how are government accounts? How do they move it? You see it in James Bond, right? In the 007, the agent, the international agent, they fly to Paris, they get air tickets, they get everything. How do you think they've been doing this all along? They've been using a system of cash. Before Bitcoin existed, they had a way. You have heard about microfiche, how they take a picture of 1,000 pages and it's in a small chip, and they travel across the ocean and deliver it and all of that. You see it in the movies, and they are chasing somebody with a very tiny chip in their body to remove the chip and get all the information. So with crypto, it makes it easy. What is crypto? It makes it easier. It's encrypted. It's cryptography. It's encrypted. It's hidden. So this is how they play the game. This is how they do it. They hide the information, and so you don't know. So Pompeius doesn't know who sent him this money. He doesn't know who's trying to bribe him to destroy Ripple and XRP. But I'm telling you, then something else I wanted to show you. Marshall Hainer, who is the founder of the Metal blockchain. So let's go to Marshall Hainer. I just really enjoyed what he has to say. He put up something the other day, and I want to share it with you. So Marshall Hainer, this is what he said. He said, it's time to put the U.S. Treasury on chain with KYG. Know your government. So they're going to, cheating will become very difficult. Only the government will be allowed to use zero knowledge proof from where things are going. Dubai just banned zero knowledge proof as we're speaking. So you can't really use Monero in Dubai going forward. So each government office having their own verified digital identity that can be held accountable via the United States DAO. See, yeah, there you go. So there's something else there, but I don't want to talk about that. Let's go to what he said about yesterday. He posted something that really was encouraging. This is it. He said, they want to crush, let's read it. They want to crush the crypto movement from the inside. Don't let them discourage or dishearten you. Focus on freedom is the one thing they don't want you to ever have. And that's why I want to teach as many as are interested how to become your own bank in the ecosystem that Marshall created, because I believe that they've done an amazing job. Now, how long will they allow us to be free to operate in the system and be our own banks? I don't know. But I'm telling you that in the next little bit, with a net worth of $500,000, $1 million, and it continues to grow as crypto values grow, you can actually be your own bank, issuing your own credit to yourself. can issue credit to yourself and your family. So a family member wants to buy a car. When I say family member, I mean your wife, your husband, your children, right? Okay, your son turns 18. You want to teach him how to be accountable. But because the interest rates are not friendly, interest rates are supposed to come down with the new blockchain system. But, I don't know that banks will change. They will still keep the poor poor. So what you can do is issue a credit card to your children, all of your children, and say, and that the credit card I'm talking about is just credit. It's not like they get a card. But a time is coming when we can issue cards to our children, or I mean to our family members. I'll tell you why I know that. Today, Phantom Wallet just showed that they are working hard to get a card that you can add to your Phantom Wallet. Sorry, that you can add to your Apple Pay. All right. So when that comes out, it's going to be a game changer. The same thing is going to see the fact that you took the step, okay, to invest. The fact that you took the step to invest in cryptocurrencies is the beginning of your freedom. Because now the next level, I don't know, those who never invested will have to go through the ETFs that will be offered to them by the banks and other crypto services, offerings like a basket. They'll say, okay, we put XRP, XLM, XDC, all of these ISO coins, we put them in a basket. Buy a basket, a portion of a basket for $100. So they'll distribute that and then people just buy from their paycheck and hoping that it goes up. But by that time, your own if they put an XRP in that basket, you're already wealthy from your uh, XRP, XLM, XDC because you bought them when they were 5 cents each. Now they'll be selling them to the public when each of them have already done 100x. Thank you, Chris. Chris, good to see you. One day says they know Bitcoin is a sinking ship and will always need people to prop it. I will agree with you. Bitcoin will become some distant some wallet out there, blockchain out there. There will be improvements on it. I think it will still continue to be a store of value. Will it continue to go up to $1 million? I don't really know. I can't see. Is it possible? Yes, but see, there's so much improvement that they've created. Marshall Hina, they just released a new Bitcoin. Let me show that to you. These guys, they're amazing. What they do and what they do. Let's go back here and I'll show you. So this is what I was exploring earlier today before. I have to work. I don't have as much time. That's why I tend to focus on a few things and try to hammer it through. So we went ahead and made a better version of Bitcoin, introducing Bitcoin VM, a fully open source decentralized uh, POS ledger that reduces energy footprint and scales from 7 to 4,500 transactions per minute, secured by Snowman on blockchain, built by We Are Metallicus. So this is Metallicus is I am not following it. So We Are Metallicus is a company under their group name Metallicus. This guy worked in Ripple, worked in Stellar, and now working also in the Metal blockchain as its founder and CEO. A very amazing group of guys. They are awesome. They are awesome. So they also have their own XMD, their own dollar, which is the XMD. Friends, there's so much. And look at they are the top in the top line of top project by development activity growth. So you got Solana. This is why I believe in Solana a lot. I've been talking about Solana a lot. I also believe in IOTA. And here is XPR network. I don't do anything with optimism, but here is XPR network, which I believe can get a lot of people. XPR network today is sitting at 0.002 and I think 9. Let's just call it 0.003 cents. If you're in Canadian, it'll be almost 0.004, which is still affordable. And you can get a million units right down there with $3,000. Put it away at $3. Your 3 million, your 1 million becomes 3 million. It's very easy, and then you can be your own bank with 3 million. 5% of $3 million would give you what? 150x. Sorry, $150,000 a year that you can spend however you deem fit. The projects, the things you want to support will come easily So yeah, it's very, very interesting. You can stake on Metal X. Again, I'm not all over the place. I try to be, because there's so much time I have, and there's so much things that make sense. Great to see you, my friend. How you doing? I saw your question. I don't know if I responded to you about the uh the laptops stuff. Yeah, it has to be in person, because yeah, that's just the way I can, like at my church, I have a developer who's advanced and can do some of these things, but I had to actually have it done too while I was in Texas. So you can do it on a Mac, you can do it on an HP or a Lenovo, any of those systems, but the specifications are clearly spelt out there. All right. So this is all I wanted to do today, was just to come on here and say, hey, the market seems to be picking up. There is some recovery, and if you had bought in, I think it's Tim Dumar who bought at $1.17. Chris, were you able to grab the dip? Some people were upset that they didn't have money to get the dip, but I want to say that if you have been investing for a while and you have more money in your wallet, crypto wallet, than you have in the bank, congratulations. This is going to be a very good year. The drop is not something to worry about. If you're a researcher, if you spend time to read some of the research articles coming out about crypto, you are in the right place. The warfare is necessary. The warfare is what must happen. The battle must happen. As we speak, the American Banking Association is still unhappy about people getting. Just a second. I'm here. Um, so against people getting, you and I getting rewards, right, from stable coins. So it's interesting, right? Because it actually takes. So let me just put this out here. Let me share this with you. How many people are still on here who want to see this? Let's see. Trokondumbar, how you doing, brother? Chris got at 120. Chris, I'm proud of you, man. Woo! So that's your basically dollar cost averaging, because if you got in, I think you must have been higher than the dollar, right? When you got in first. So if you bought your XRP at 150 and you got it at 120, you're basically you're bringing down your average. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. But even if you still have it at $3.50, I don't care. This thing is going to $100, $1,000. So who cares? So basically, that's my position on this. Okay, let's look at this here. This is the American Bankers Association. 52 state bankers associations urge Congress. This is not just one. This is 52 of all the bankers associations coming together. The American Bankers Association today joined 52 state bankers association from across the country in sending a joint letter to Congress urging lawmakers to clarify and enforce the statutory prohibition on payment stablecoin issuers and affiliated platforms offering yield. Friends, this is the problem. I can show you yields right now of 17%. I can show you yields of 400%. I can show you yields of 250%. I'm not sharing those because it's not necessary. Why? The risk is greater. That's what they use, because some people who are not mature enough in their mind watch a video. Oh, I can get 200 percent yield. So they go to Pancake Swap or they go to all these places. They don't know how the yield farming works. They don't know that they can have impermanent loss. They don't know that anything can happen. Sometimes when you see a 400% yield, you better stay away from it if you don't know what you're doing, because you may put your money in, you may create a pool or whatever, or you add your funds to a pool. What happens is those are attractive. The algorithm, the smart contract is written in such a way that when activity is not high in a specified pool, the smart contract will create a large. Remember, this is all programming, right? Our old idea of programming, where a programmer, now we call them developers, right? They write a smart contract, and the smart contract is algorithmic. All it does is when there are certain conditions that must be fulfilled for it to generate a contract. And so the smart contract That's why they're called smart contract, like your smartphone. So the smart contract within that ecosystem, within that pool, what it does is to recognize that, oh, flow is, so much. Well, it's only $200,000 flowing in it. We need about a million. Okay, so we're going to attract people by offering 400,000, 400% APR or APY. Most times, and those are not interchangeable terms, by the way. So because APY is compounding, APR is not. And so what happens is, as funds flow into that particular designated pool, it comes down. I have seen USDT at 700% on a platform, and I could have, if I had 10,000, I put it in there. Guess what I would get? I would get in for about 2 weeks. I would get some good gas money. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you can easily get about $500 to $600 on 10,000 in a month, but it rarely lasts for a month, and I'll tell you why. Because the flow that is in there isn't that much. Now, because we're dealing with people who are very smart, some of them have created pools from these Silicon Valley guys, and girls. They've created pools that serve their interests. I'm just going to be honest with you. So people come in there and they put their money. These are faceless individuals. You don't know who they are, but the smart contracts do all the work. So you find all of these high yields and you can put your money in there. Now, I don't really participate in all of those, but I know they exist. But the problem is, if you now show people that you can do this and this and that and the other, people go in there, and when they lose their money, guess what's going to happen? They're going to say, you showed me this and I didn't. So that's why we've got to be careful with these things. Right. So at 150 low. So let's do the math. Chris said he bought at 250. So that's very easy to see. You go 250. It's a simple average, right? Um, Yeah, so you're down to 185. And then you can go to Zaman, Chris, and then set a buy limit order lower at $1. Just kind of put, say, 100 units at $100. So that will give you 100 units. And then you wait. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And it's good till cancel. It's good till cancel. Okay. So if you need help with that, let me know. Don't just message me in the Patreon, and I'll take it. We'll take it from there. That's what you need to do. Set buy limit orders. You know, mm, and I prefer that you set your buy limit orders in the DeFi setting than in the central exchanges. 2 years ago, we had set buy limit orders, low buy limit orders on KuCoin. Some of them were filled. They went there and reversed it manually. That's what I don't like about central exchanges. They make the whole thing all look suspect, because it's like, well, you gave us this tool, we're trying to use it, and they're always offering you money to go and futures trade. Why are you telling us to trade, to project a 7x, and then we lose our money? You work against people, you steal everybody's money. Like, it doesn't make sense. So they went and reversed everything, and I can't really. I prefer to set buy limit orders in the DeFi settings for my favorite cryptos, and if it goes low, I catch some. If it doesn't, well, no problem. So for me, I was just a little lazy this time around. I didn't take advantage of the situation. So yeah, sorry, but that's the truth. I'm not going to pretend that I catch everything. I'm happy where I'm at. I thank God at what I have, but that's not why I didn't participate. It's just that I was kind of in a fog here and there, coming out of this long. It's not good to have a cold for 2 weeks, coughing and sneezing and all that. It's not a good thing. And then you travel in the midst of that. You're in airports, in hotels, in in what you call it, in airplanes. Woo, that's one of those things. So I just kind of, in my headspace, I just wanted to catch up with work, things that I need to get done, and I'm a little behind. A tax season is coming up. I mean, talk about multiple streams of income. But if you want the if you want to go higher, then you have to be ready to deal with the consequences. Well, I won't say consequences, but the realities of multiple streams of income. You have to answer to the government, right? It's not just now your salary and you send something in. No, it's a lot of stuff that you got to do. Well, Chris changed one day's name to Wanted. So it's now she's now wanted. I'm just kidding. You corrected the spelling. It's now one day there. All right. So any questions for me before I go today? I was just showing you this letter from the American Bankers Association, ABA. Let me read. It says in the letter, the groups explain the significant consequences of exchanges, taking advantage of the interest loophole and the overall mismatch in regulatory imbalance. Banks must compete with unregulated. They're just telling you the reality. They say, protect us, protect us, protect us. You know, your model is dying. It's dying. It's like the highway motels saying Best Western should not invest in motels. Well, Best Western may say, well, you know what? We want to do a little bit something different. So we're going to have these motels that are not exactly like your highway motels. We'll put them at the edge of cities. Now, I'm just speculating, right? And we'll call them something else. We'll put the name, it won't be Best Western, but we'll just call it a different name. We'll call it the $1 hotel, meaning you can, it's a pod. You just enter into a tiny room. Truckers will use it. So major cities will have it on the edge of the, what, it could be Best Western, but you wouldn't know that. Now, if the motels are saying, oh, you know what? Well, it's simple. Your business model is dying out. It's sad to see, but it happens. The same thing came with Airbnb, right? Airbnb showed up. Oh, the motel, the bed and breakfast, pop and mom and pop, the simple homes that were in the country or in cities that they used for, you go to some of the downtowns. There's a lot of bed and breakfast in many North American downtowns, picturesque neighborhoods from way back in the 60s, 50s, and all that. And they maintained, the character. And people go in there and they have bed and breakfast. A very, very simple concept. But guess what? Airbnb comes and revolutionizes that industry. Now, the same old bed and breakfast can now hitch on to the Airbnb and get more clients. Maybe they now have to part with some of their income. The reality is the banks will have to do what the bed and breakfast did to join Airbnb. They have to do what the local taxis have done in joining with the local taxis, TAXIS. I remember we used to have taxis here that were, some of them, sometimes when you call them, there were two of them. You call one company or the other, they pick up the phone, they were rude on the phone, they didn't, and just because they know that you couldn't get anybody else to pick you up at midnight. There were the only two taxi companies in the city. At the time, there were only 650,000 people in this city. Now there's over 800,000. Guess what? Uber showed up. When Uber showed up the first time, guess what happened? They fought Uber tooth and nail. Uber had to disappear quietly. They had been given approval by the government, but this cartel of taxi operators, I call them a taxi operator cartel, they said no to Uber. Well, guess what? Uber was already operating in Toronto. People were enjoying Uber. Uber was operating. Instead of them to come together and create Lyft, a company like Lyft, a different company, call it something else, use all the systems Uber is using, gets whoever built Uber to build it for you. They didn't do that. Instead, they were protesting the government that their food is about to be taken away. Do you know what happened? Uber is alive and well right now. Do you know, I live outside the city, and I would call taxis. It was difficult to find one that wants to come outside the city to pick me up. But do you know what? To go to the airport, because there's times when our kids were younger, my wife wouldn't be able to leave them alone very early in the morning for me to catch an airplane ride at 6 o'clock or at 4:30 a.m. in the morning. So I would have to call one of those older taxi companies. I don't want to mention their name. There was two of them, and they were making a lot of money. They were the only ones, and they just sometimes you call the phone and say, everybody was complaining about how they would behave. The drivers also were always on the phone, talking to family, doing that. It was terrible. And so Uber came in and sanitized that industry. And we, and I call Uber, 5 minutes there at my house, and I'm outside the city. Go figure. Why? Competition. So do you think, from what I've said, Chris, do you agree with me? When you save the live video, can you also see the comments when we replay the video? You know what? I don't see. Do you see it? I think you can actually toggle it to show the comments when live. You know what? I'll go look into the settings. Thank you for that, Chris. That's a very important. Thank you for that. Yeah. So history is rhyming again. I always try to use the things that you see, the things that you know. It was like that with landlines. Oh, yeah, cell phones. Oh, they cause cancer. They're going to kill you. Yeah, people didn't care that it caused cancer. It's the same thing. You remember how they told people not to drink Coca Cola? There are people today, their favorite drink is still Coca Cola. They know it has sugar in it. They drink it. They're not addicted to it. They just like it. If they don't want to drink Coca Cola for 2 weeks, they won't drink Coca Cola for 2 weeks. And then they say, okay, I'm back. But some are addicted. The point I'm making is see, you remember Japanese cars, right? Oh, they're not good. They're this and that, and Chrysler had no choice. But if you're old enough, you remember Chrysler had to go and make what they call the K car to compete with the Japanese cars. And today, there are Japanese cars all over the place. The Koreans were making cars; they were laughing at them. Now there's Hyundai, there's Kia, and a couple other Korean things. I think Kubota is from South Korea too. And many farmers in North America now use Kubota engines. It doesn't have to be Perkins, Rolls Royce, Cummins anymore. You can have all these other things. Now, the point I'm making is, and that's what Trump is saying. Yes, you can come in, but you come and make it here so that our people can have jobs here. I want our children to be able to have jobs and our children's children if the Lord tarries. Hello, my life. How you doing? Yes, I will go check to see how to do that. Let me just make a note to that. So, my life, welcome. We've been talking about the fact that the market is coming back, and I talked about Pompeius, who received a bribe offer of $25,000 to crap on XRP, Ripple, and how they are fake and all that, and how he's lost all his money just to lie. So I showed people here how you do that in zero knowledge proof. You send money anonymously. So he received an offer of 25,000 USDT anonymously. That if you agree, we'll send it to you. We'll send you 50%. Once we see the post that you are crapping on XRP, Ripple, we'll send the remaining. So I showed people how that is done. And you wouldn't even know who sent it. And I also said that Dubai, as we speak this morning, Dubai has banned zero knowledge proof. You can check that. You can fact check me on that. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll show you that, because some people may be saying, how do you know that, Pastor Hezekiah? How do you know that? I'll show you right now. Right now. Look at it. Right here. Everybody see. Dubai's, I've been talking about zero knowledge proof, right? Well, Dubai's ban on Monero and Zcash signals for regulated crypto. So they just banned it. So for some of you who want to move to Dubai, when you get your money, this is why I say, instead of trying to hide things from these people, like I don't have any problem with having Monero and all this. I believe in it. I've downloaded some of that stuff. But the best thing is to learn how to operate within an ecosystem. Learn to operate within an ecosystem, and that's what I want to do on Sunday evening. If you're all interested, please just say yes, 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 and then I can send you a link. It's going to be private to all the people who are on my channel, sorry, on my Patreon, paying Patreon members. I'll also send it to the paying YouTube members so that they can join me on that live on Sunday night. I'll create the link today and send it to you guys. So please, if you're interested, say yes, I'm interested. I just want to show you. Look, you don't need to be all over the place. You can have knowledge about here and here and here and here and here and here and here. There, Paul said, this one thing I do. Most times you don't need more than one or two banks. In the same way, if you have two, platforms that are a one-stop shop, you can stay in that platform, right, and get a lot of things done. And there's so much more, so much more, so much more. So I want to prepare you for when you have 50K, 25K, if you don't have it now. And for those who already have it, you can start right now, right now, right now. So this was where I was going to. So you see, they banned Let's read this first. Hold on. Dubai does not criminalize privacy coins, yet has ordered them to be removed from regulated financial channels. This means licensed firms in the DFIC can no longer trade, promote, or package them into investment products. From a compliance perspective, privacy by default features conflict with AML and sanctions. That's the big thing. Have you heard about AML? How many of you know what AML is? How many of you know what AML is? If you know what AML is, please type yes. Or AML. Okay. It's anti-money laundering. Many people said, I remember Electronium gave people a lot of trouble early in the day. Oh, my wallet. Oh, no, they want to steal my money. But what really happened was that the United Kingdom was one of the ones that became very, very, very serious for whatever reason about anti-money laundering. Yes, they were very, very like so. And Electronium is actually, in my opinion, it's the British people's way of getting into. Remember, it's a country of about 70 million people. All right, it has no like it's got a massive economy compared to its size. Has been the previous British Empire overlords and has been whittled down in its power that it has globally today. One of the still one of the most powerful nations in Europe, militarily speaking, has exited the Europe, but they're looking to come back into Europe. Still their pound sterling is still very strong. Have expatriates in every field: aviation, underwater engineering, technology, like even movie. They make some of the best movies in the world, but Hollywood takes usually the crown. But the British people, they own 007 James Bond and all of that. And I can tell you this that the British have been very unfriendly to crypto, and for me, I just think it's the way the crown views things. As far as the crown is concerned, there has to be. This is my personal opinion. There has to be subjects, and there has to be the crown, right, where all the wealth is, because the land that the royal family has, the rents, the royalties, is unbelievably massive. Not just that, what the wealth of the crown is unbelievable. Now, I'm not blaming them. You remember, there's politicians too who must preserve themselves. The lords, they must preserve themselves and their estates. So the only way is they want to have first dibs. I think that generally speaking, the elite of that country are not happy that you and I, ordinary people in London, in Brighton, in Leeds, in Manchester, in Scotland, right? Are able to get ahead of the system. It's not fun for them to see that one D has XRP. Oh, why? So the only thing they can do, and I can bet you my bottom dollar, they are keeping Electronium low deliberately. It's deliberate. They don't want it to be known. They will not. You see, sometimes they've even applied for ISO. How many of you knew XPR was an ISO coin until I said it on here? How many of you knew? Immediately I said it, somebody went out and bought 1,000,000 coins. Why? Because they don't want everybody to know. So, yeah, it's very important. Okay. So, for Sunday night, I would have the video on Patreon. It will be live. For those of you who live outside of North America, you might have a difficulty. Well, you know what? I might just do it at 4 p.m. so that if you are in West Africa, you're in Europe, you can catch at about 4, 5 p.m. would be. Let's vote. How many of you think we should be about 4 p.m. or 5 p.m.? What do you say? I have 41 of you here. If you are interested in this, so what am I going to be teaching you or sharing with you? Because some of you may be doing it already. I don't want to prove that I have more knowledge than you do, but I just see that this is the way to go. This is the way to go. Don't know 10% of 10 things. It's not going to really help you. But if you know 100% or say 90% of two things and 5% of seven other things, you are good. One time I was talking to somebody who was a very wealthy guy. He has a lot of real estate investment, stocks, this and that. And then I said something. He said, "Really? I didn't know that." And he was looking at me like, "Man, can you teach me that?" And I was like, "Wow. See, nobody knows everything." But when you are hopscotching, you're like somebody, you're here and you're there and there. It doesn't help. But if you know one thing and you focus, and that's why you shouldn't have 300 cryptocurrencies that you are invested in. It's just not. It doesn't work that way. Find a few, invest in them, and you'll be fine. So oh, somebody's yeah, I'm getting all these scammers coming on my comments. Please, when you see those comments, could you help me just report it? This way it would reduce. They're trying to, this is how they kill the reach, because I'm beginning to grow again, right? The channel is growing. And guys, I'm not too worried about numbers, but it's important to have to grow. So if you see all of this lying stuff telling you to call somebody, that's not me. I don't call anybody to offer them any special tips. I know who I call. I call my moderators on here once in a while. Tell them if I have any information, I call them. I tell them directly. So, Chris, why 3:50 or 59 p.m.? Yeah. No, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Well, yeah. So the same thing with spend the bits. I think I heard it. What's this guy's name? Oh, Digital Outlook, right? David on Digital Outlook. He said it. Said I went and I researched it. I found that their office is in Edmonton, Canada, and they have an office in El Salvador. So it was one El Salvador created when they used Bitcoin as their national currency, and they had a problem with it. That's when they went and they got what you call it. That's when they got it. The company went to help them resolve the issue of using. Um, yeah, these scammers are there. I can see their comments popping up on one of my videos. Um, I just wanted to hear me laugh. No, it's funny. Like, I just find it so hilarious. Like, these people. Oh my God. Yeah. 3:59 p.m. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I find that funny, to be honest. Like, come on. Okay. Well, any questions? Any questions? Ask me anything, and then I'll get off of here. I've been here for 1 hour already. Any questions, guys? Any question about the upcoming training on Be Your Own Bank? All right. I think we'll call it a day. Let me just stop sharing. Thank you all for joining me. It's always a blessing to have you guys on here. One day, D, it was really good to have you. Ooh, I could be in Calgary anytime from now. So I think my wife and I have some meetings. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Let's see. Do you like XCN? Yes, I do. I don't have any right now. I bought the bag. It went up a little bit and I got out. I was just finding it difficult to maintain many. I think XCN is going to be big. I think it's going to do very well. Yeah, that's my personal opinion. But I think what happened was, let me just be honest with you how I thought about it. I see that XCN, when Economic Ninja was talking about it, great dude. I've enjoyed watching his videos in the past. I've not followed closely recently. I think even it seems like YouTube is hiding some of these. I don't know. It's just funny that I don't see them anymore, but I'll still watch. When he began to talk about XCN, and I don't know if he was the one who talked about ZBEC too. Both shot up like you wouldn't believe it, because these are guys that have large followings. And I think what happened was, naturally, people bought in at the time. So you could easily get about 50,000 people going to buy the crypto. It's about making money. People want to make money, right? So people can put 10, 5,000, 2,000, because they trust the judgment of the individual. And I think that over that period, there was a great move. Think about it. Thousands of people buying in to a crypto, will just erase a zero. Like, so people made good profits, and but XCN has a bright future because of what it's meant to be doing. It's one of those coins that I believe would have some utility. Uh, but on the long run, for me, I want to stay within my preferred coins and step out a few. I think I have too many myself. The way I look at it, I'd like to focus on a few. That would be my go-to. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Egyptian is not here. She's the one who says I should be on video, but I didn't see her here, so I how's the video? My life, how are you? Are you still on here? Sonia, how are you doing? Sonia, are you in Nigeria? Sonny E or Sonia? I don't know. So I don't know how to pronounce that one. Who else have I not said hi to? Okay, well, yeah, you're not that many, so I can. Hey, Tiffany Young, it's good to see you on here. Yes. Oh, yeah, you are the one who said AML is anti-money. Pelumi Victor, good to see you. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.